It's not a judging contest, but we enjoy food on this talk show because it's not a podcast, it's a talk show.
Oh, it is a little spicy. It's okay.
Maybe only one bite for you then.
No, I can do it. Thank you. I was kind of hungry. I was not expecting that at all.
Wow. Welcome back to fksalad.
I guess I don't need my seatbelt.
We're gonna drive around. I'm here with my friend Rachel.
Hey.
We were just looking for chairs.
Yes, we were. We didn't find any though.
Rachel likes to take photos of chairs, and I'm like, we need to go out and shoot photos of chairs together. And then we didn't find any. So we might go around and find some now. But before we do that, I kind of want to ask you if you know why this show is called fksalad.
I don't actually.
Okay.
And I'm surprised I hadn't thought to ask you that already.
It's okay. You can watch episode 1 because I've explained it numerous times. But we don't eat salad. We eat all things, including avocado toast.
Okay.
So I made you avocado toast.
Wait, what?
Yeah, check the glove box.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
My
of course I
foot's
did.
in the way.
There's one. It's spicy avocado toast. I really chefed on this, guys.
Oh man, how spicy.
It's not that spicy, but
All
you can just
right.
have a bite or two.
So
and
this is
this
why-
is not a food judging contest. I've decided that I need to start doing a few things differently on this show. One being articulate my questions more efficiently. I can't even say that properly. The second being save my money and start making food for my guests.
That's something I should also do.
Do you do that for work?
Save money or buy food?
Buy food. No, make food.
No, I buy food every day.
What do you buy?
I buy poke.
Mm.
What else? Like Starbucks, everything kind of around me. I have been going home recently for lunch, but today was brutal actually. I ordered Uber Eats to my house, went home for lunch, and then got it when the Uber driver.
Why do you do that?
It was just today. I don't know. I was in a mood, but I know I should be making food and not buying.
No, I don't want to discredit anyone who uses Uber Eats, but
I was pretty lazy
I've never
today.
downloaded it.
Well, actually, if you have Uber, it's in Uber now. Yeah, like it's at the bottom. It was a pretty smart move on their part.
That is a smart move. I don't have it because I know I'd just spend way too much money using it.
Oh, you do? Yeah, don't. I guess, do you have Uber?
Mm-hmm.
So you have Uber Eats. So that's why it's called fksalad.
Well, there's many reasons why it's called that. I think I'm going to have to have this massive conclusion in the 50th episode.
Yeah.
But for now, it's called fksalad because of what I say in episode 1. Fksalad. We don't swear on this podcast, so it's fksalad.
Oh, okay.
And, for branding, you know about branding, right?
Yes.
I couldn't get the Instagram handle fksalad. I could only
Was
get...
it taken?
I guess so, actually. It must have been. But I could only get fksalad. And on the topic of branding, if that was
Yes.
even good enough to keep in this clip, I don't know how am I doing, guys? Am I saying my words right this time?
So far, so good.
On the topic of branding, are you doing any branding? What is your job? Who are you? Who's Rachel?
What
We've just
is
been
my
talking about.
job? I don't know.
I thought you did more branding and UX stuff.
Yeah, well, okay, so I've kind of done a little 180 since I got hired, because if you were to ask me what I do when I was in school last year, I would have said like branding, illustration, I don't know what else, like basically anything graphic design except for UX UI. I'd say I did it in my co-op and I like it, but I was more interested in like anything that surrounded like art more so. And now, surprisingly, I'm a UX UI designer, which it's funny how things work.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, basically my day-to-day UX UI, like I'm working on digital products, digital software, stuff like that. So I just started in October and I'm still learning. I think I'll never stop learning. But yeah, so not so much branding though. I guess like technically branding for like the company I work for, but I wouldn't say like it's not anything I'm creating myself. So
Right. I don't think we've even had we haven't had a proper hangout or conversation about your job since you started.
I think I mentioned it like very briefly, but yeah. So what ended up happening was when I finished school in August, my whole plan was, I was like, I'm just gonna sleep for the next 4 months.
I wanted you to sleep for 4 months. I wanted to hire you for
I
things.
know. And so, okay, I really wanted to sleep for 4 months. And everyone who asked me what I was doing after school, I was like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I have been so busy, and like, not to say that I didn't do any art through school, but like, I didn't do any art through school. So I was like, I want to focus on art. I want to focus on like rach's rack, and like I wanted to further like the slice branding, and like I have all these things I want to do.
I love it.
But it was funny because I was like, okay, I feel like because this is my plan, like it's not gonna go as planned. And then like one day in September, I was like just doing something random, like enjoying my time off. Like I was painting houses here and there. Still, I was at Levi's, still just working part-time. And my boss from my co-op, who I was there like the year before, he just sends me a text and he was like, do you want a job? And I was like, I mean, like, define that a little bit. So anyway, like long story short, he ended up having a connection to, funny enough, like 3 floors above where I did my co-op. A friend of his was hiring, and in the long run, he ended up recommending me. So it was kind of like, and that was like end of September, like not even, and it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I'd be so stupid to say no to this, because like, it's not to say that it's hard to get jobs, but like I know a lot of people after school, especially if they take a bit of time off, like it can be difficult to get a job. Like you have to apply. So I was like, the fact that I'm being referenced, and like it was really cool. So I went in for an interview, and then I had another one, and yeah, and then like in the blink of an eye, I woke up one day and I'm like, okay, like I guess I'm working, doing this 9 to 5 thing now. So, but yeah, so I was very nervous starting out. And also because like I didn't have that much UX UI experience, and they knew that, but then I did have a lot in the time like that I was at like my co-op. So I went in, and so far so good. They knew that I didn't have like a whole lot of experience, so it's been kind of day by day, but yeah, nothing horrible has gone on yet.
Well,
so.
I wouldn't know. That's great to hear.
Wood.
And I think UX UI is very much now job. Like you could take this, you might have a whole new, this kind of idea that you had for yourself.
Oh, but it's gone. Just kidding.
Well,
but it's funny because I think about that sometimes too, because I'm like, not to say that, I mean, if you asked me in school, like I was more so terrified of UX UI because there was no projects that we did that were like, you have to make an app or you have to make a website. It was always open to interpretation, and I never chose that pathway. I was like, I'm gonna make an illustration or like something cool or like a brand. But now I actually really like it, and funny enough, it's like the perfect balance for me right now, I think, in terms of like creativity and like working 9 to 5, because UX UI, it is design, and obviously like I have to use everything I've learned, but as far as like what I'm doing day to day versus like a branding project or things that I did in school, it's more of like critical thinking versus like you have to design this and draw that and create this brand. So it's kind of like a puzzle, and day by day, like I'm figuring out like user flow and stuff like that. And then when I go home, then lately I've been trying to do some art and like then get into my creativity, like more so the illustration and stuff like that. So yeah, I actually really like it so far, and I don't know if I'd ever get out of it, because I mean, not to say that I'm going to be here forever, but I think that the more experience I get in UX UI could lead me to other jobs. So,
and it's a small company you're in right now, right?
Yeah, so actually my office is about like 6 people, but
that's amazing.
We're based, like the main building's based out of London, and I think there's about like 100, maybe 150. So yeah, like I am like surrounded day to day by only a few people, which also I really like, and it had kind of similar vibes to where I was for my co-op. Yeah, so it's really cool so far. So yeah, there's the rundown, because I know you haven't really.
Well, thank you for the rundown. Yeah.
You haven't really heard.
I was so heartbroken when you went full time though. But
not
because yeah, I know, not for me, because I did know you wanted to sleep.
Yeah, no, I did, but that's the thing, and it's funny because my dad he had told me too. He was like, Rachel, like, because you have this plan, it's not gonna go the way you want. He was like, and then when I had the interview and I was like, oh, like, I want it, but I actually also don't, because like I want to do all these other things before I work. And he's like, because if you say you don't want it and you just put that out into the universe, like, you're gonna get it. And I was like, I want to say stop, but like that's also a good thing. So yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I just have to kind of learn how to prioritize my like free time, and so far like it hasn't been that great, and like I mentioned before, like for the first like couple months after I came home, I would just want to sleep, or like design or art was like the last thing I wanted to do. But since the new year, and maybe it's because it's not dark at 5, I've been coming home and like slowly trying to get back into doing some stuff, some personal projects. Mostly art right now, not so much design. That'll wait. But yeah, so.
And this personal stuff you're working on, let's maybe even fire back to how we really started, I guess, working together.
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't remember.
I don't remember our initial collaboration. It must have been Beyond the Gram.
Yeah, probably. Well, I know like I had met you a few times through Jack.
Yeah.
Like, and you had come to school a couple times.
Right, okay. Why did I reach out? Were you just in the starting of Rachel's Rack?
Yeah, I just started it, and yeah, which was like, I think in 2017 now, which is so crazy that it's already been like 3 years.
Yeah, dive into that.
Yeah, but...
Tell me about Rachel's Rack.
Okay, so it's cool actually, because yeah, I think about this now, because it has been a couple years, and I'm like, oh, I'm still going.
Yeah.
And so yeah, in 2017 I started Rach's Rack. I don't know why actually. I think the problem lied in I kept taking, so I buy a lot of clothes obviously, and I started buying way more in college because my style was changing. I was meeting creative people and I was like, whoa, this is fun, like I'm gonna dress wacky at school. So I just had so many, and that is still like what I do, like I shop way too much. So then I was always taking my like older clothes to like places like Plato's Closet or whatever, trying to get money for it, and it would take so much time and effort, and then they'd offer you like $3 for like a shirt that you don't think is $3, or at least worth $3. And so I started getting really pissed, and I was like, okay, I feel like I should just start selling them on my own. And at the time I actually don't know if people were doing that as much on Instagram, because I know it's a lot more popular now. But yeah, so I started Rach's Rack, and basically was just selling like things that I wasn't wearing anymore, and that's all I thought it would be. Until recently, I started doing the sliced thing. So, and that actually came from like, I always make my own shorts out of like denim, and then I started really liking thrifting jeans way more. But obviously, I don't need like 300 pairs.
Yeah. So
I started selling them on Rach's Rack, and then it kind of, and I had some fun with that branding, and that was cool. So I have a lot more plans for that. But now it's definitely not as much of a priority, obviously, with what else I'm doing right now, but I have plans for it. So yeah, I want to continue with sliced. I hope actually eventually I kind of might want to flip it totally to be like selling things that I'm thrifting, because that's starting to become like more fun for me than just selling my older stuff. But I'm sure that there'll still be stuff. So yeah, that's cool. And yeah, now it's been... Yeah.
What was it like?
I started June of 2017.
Okay, so it was maybe
almost
6 months after that I approached you for Beyond the Gram.
Yeah.
And I said, Rach, I have this little closet nook, and I just picture you just making it yours.
Oh yeah, that was so awesome.
The reason I think I bring you out for stuff like that too is because I know you like the process and the branding of it.
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
I check your website and you've got Beyond the Gram, Fritz Fragrances. It's like that's what I designed it for. I'm like, I know Rachel will be able to use this on her portfolio and also pump out some cool posters for it and make it look all nice.
It was fun. Yeah, and that was funny because I was at school printing everything for that, and my prof was like looking at it, and he was like, what is this? Like, I'm always behind on like, or I used to be always behind on like in-term deadlines, and the next thing he knows, he saw me doing like all this work for that, and I'm like, oh, it's not school stuff, bye. Like, I was like, now you know like why I'm never on time with anything that you need.
That's funny.
Yeah, I actually, in the summer, because this summer was the summer that I pushed Slice, I was in my second semester in May, and for like a month and a half, I was like working like 70% on Slice and like 30% on school. And I like kind of woke up one day and I was like, you need to stop, because I was so into it that I didn't want to do anything for school, and I just wanted to keep going with the sliced stuff. But then I kind of kicked it because I realized I had a thesis to do.
Fair enough. That's kind of where the point I'm in right now. I'm not doing any of my freelance editing jobs. I'm just dedicated to this. And it feels good.
It did feel so good at the time until I woke up one day and realized I might fail if I didn't stop. But
what about your actual art though? Because I miss seeing that.
Yeah, I miss seeing it too.
I'm not. This isn't like a reflection. This is not going to be a reflection episode. But
no, yeah, it's been on the back burner.
It's been on the back burner, and it would be so nice to see in 2020.
Okay, it's funny you say that, because this past week I have been painting. I had this plan to do this drawing or like this big painting like years ago, and I was printing tiles, like stencils for it at school, so I at least know it was like a year ago, if not more than that. And then my mom gave me this old painting and it was framed, but it had like all these, it was like a thick painting. So I chiseled it off, sat in my room for like probably like a year. I painted it white, and then it sat for like another year. And like a couple days ago, I was like going to bed. I think actually, it was Friday because I didn't do anything, and I was in and I was gonna go to bed, but I wasn't tired. And then I just like looked at it and I was like, I gotta start this. Hopefully this year that will become something. But yeah, I haven't been painting like at all.
When did you start painting? I don't really know your history with art. When did you pick up a paintbrush?
Like when I was like 4
and
to 3.
So you just were like good in junior school and stuff?
Yeah, I've always loved it. My parents joke ever since I was little, like ever since I could talk, I only ever asked for an art kit for Christmas, like every year. So it's kind of just been something that I've always loved. And then that was why I ended up taking a year off after high school, because I was like, I really like art. I hate everything else, or at least wasn't great at like anything else. And I was like, but as much as I love painting and drawing, I didn't feel comfortable going to OCAD or something. And not to say that that's a bad thing, but just personally, I knew that I would love it for however many years I was there, and then I'd probably finish and it's not like I love it, it's a passion, but it's more of like a hobby passion. Like I don't think if art was like forced upon me or I had deadlines to meet with certain like things, and even in first year we had drawing, and like it was fun, but I like it on my own terms. So yeah, and then that's why I decided to do design, because I was like, I can hopefully merge the two and then hopefully get a job one day.
And you're doing that now.
But yeah, so yeah, like I've always been painting and drawing too, but I think late in high school I picked up oil paints. And I like never picked up anything else after that. I really like them. And I like that they take so long to dry that I can kind of, like me being all over the place, like can work on it a bit one day, come back in 3 days, and like I can still like mess with that. And it's not dry, because that's kind of how I do my art. I can't sit down for like 12 hours and just like create a masterpiece. Like it'll be like 10 minutes here, like 20 minutes here for like 3 years straight. And I'll be like, I finally finished this thing.
And then the last area I'd say of your talent, because we're just going to touch on it all, I feel like you're a multidisciplinary artist.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Kind of all over the place.
You're all over the place in the best way possible. And that is your collages.
Yeah.
Your collage work with like magazine cutting.
That's actually what I've been working on the most lately.
Oh, cool.
And I have so many plans for that too. And the frustrating part about that is like, I want to do it so much, but then it takes so long. So it'll be a while before I think any new pieces come out. But I was thinking about this earlier today when I knew that we were meeting up, because like a lot of people will do like puzzles or stuff like as like stress relievers. And I think that lately collaging is like the best stress reliever, but also still art for me.
Cool.
And actually on the weekend, I put a bunch of like, so I've been like cutting stuff out and putting it in like plastic bags and then just grabbing them and going if I'm going somewhere. Or I've actually started coming home for lunch a lot, so I can just do like 20 minutes of collaging and then go back to work feeling like fueled again.
I mean, you don't need, because Uber Eats is like there anyways. And
at my door, ready to serve me. It was one time.
Let's run those little collages you just posted the other day. We'll be right back.
But yeah, so lately what I've been doing is cutting a bunch of stuff out, and obviously like the end goal is to have them up in some big like mess, kind of like what I showed at your show.
Oh, another thing that we can pop up right in the middle here.
Because when I made that, before I had made that, I had only done like them tiny, like, and when I mean tiny, I mean like this big, and I was cutting out things like this small, and I'm like, why was I doing that? Like I should have gone like large scale so much sooner. So yeah, I've been cutting a crap ton of stuff out, but when I'm gluing like bits and pieces together, sometimes I'll like stop and I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, that looks really cool just like that. So then I'll save it.
Cool.
And actually right now I'm contemplating if I'm then putting those ones into the bigger ones or not.
Right on.
But yeah, so that's been really fun. And recently I just had another idea to do like monochromatic ones. But as big but also as big as that one. And I'm working on like another colorful one and a black and white one right now that are as big as the ones I showed at your show. So between those two and now every color, I'm like, give me like 10 years. I'll come back to you with those.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let's play one more thing here. We'll play the our collage collab, that small video we did.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot about that too.
I'll put that one on. We'll be right back. So, Rachel, let's buckle up and get going here. But
Alright.
you actually do everything. So how do you deal with projects and then knowing which ones to focus your time on?
I don't.
Okay, because neither do I. I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, and now, especially that like a lot of my week is like taken up, I kind of just work on like whatever I feel like working on, but at the same time, like if I don't feel like painting, like I won't paint for like 2 years, kind of like what had just happened. And same thing with like collaging and whatever. Like it's weird because I feel like when I don't feel creative or I'm in a slump, I can't necessarily like work through it until I wake up one day and I'm like, this is it. Same with like photography too, because actually I haven't been doing that much.
Right.
And I shot a bunch of stuff like early last year and like even in 2018. And some of it I haven't even edited yet. I've always been someone who like has like a bajillion things on the go. My dad's the same way, so and
blame it on your dad.
I do blame it on my dad, but I like it too because I kind of have so much stuff going on, or at least like so much stuff everywhere that I kind of can like evaluate like how I'm feeling, what level of like creativity I'm feeling, and like then decide like what matches that. So like collaging was something I did for a really long time recently because I've been in kind of a slump,
Right.
and that's mindless because yeah, I'm fitting things together and trying to come up with like patterns and stuff, but I'm not actually the one like painting everything or shooting or drawing, so it's a little bit easier in that sense. And now I think I'm at the point where I can get home and not feel like all I want to do is lay down and watch TV. Like I jump into my house and I'm like grab a paintbrush or like my like scissors and I'm like, okay, how many hours do I have?
Yeah.
So
Or you hop into my car with a tripod and a
Yeah.
camera. You're ready to go.
it's definitely cross this off my bucket list as a new experience.
Well, we need to actually snipe some proper chairs in the next couple of months. Maybe it'll be the summer.
Yeah.
In the summer we'll go out and we'll take some photos in chairs because I'm not seeing any
Yeah.
right now.
No.
I think
I mean, I could grab one out of my basement.
no, it's not that serious.
I have
But
too many down there.
I think if there's anything that comes from this conversation, it's that keep focusing on those personal projects that drive you and make you happy, no matter how many there are.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, heck yeah. And I wanted to shoot chairs. I'm really disappointed. And if you haven't seen episode 12 yet, my friend loves... I'm kidding. It's not even out yet.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm like, what?
My friend Jacob loves chairs.
Oh, really?
That could be a big... you might have to
Big
go to
collab.
Toronto and see his chair collection.
Oh, I'll
Jacob,
have to.
if you're listening to this, we got someone who can shoot your chairs and you guys can auction them off together or something. Let's get out of here. And maybe
Cool.
we'll just plan to shoot some chairs together in the summer.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Let's go.